When you think of mammals, you might picture a lion on the savannah or a whale in the deep blue sea. But what about a mammal that soars through the night sky? That's right, I'm talking about bats. These amazing creatures are the only mammals on Earth capable of true powered flight, which makes their journey from birth to adulthood a truly fascinating story. Their life cycle is a wild adventure, full of unique challenges and incredible adaptations that allow them to thrive in darkness. From the moment they are conceived, bats are on a remarkable path, one that is deeply connected to the rhythm of the seasons and the health of their environment. Let's dive into the world of bats and explore how these winged wonders begin their lives. The life of a bat starts, like all mammals, as a tiny embryo growing inside its mother. The time she is pregnant, known as the gestation period, can vary quite a bit depending on the species. For some smaller bats, it might be as short as 6 weeks, but for larger species like the flying fox, it can last for 6 whole months. What's really cool is how the environment plays a huge role. If food is scarce or the weather is bad, some female bats have a superpower. They can pause their pregnancy. This is called delayed implantation, where the fertilized egg waits to attach to the uterus until conditions get better. This ensures the baby is born when there's plenty of food available for both mom and pup. When the time is right, the mother bat gives birth in a truly unique way. Unlike most mammals, she often hangs upside down by her thumbs, using her tail membrane to create a little basket to catch her newborn. Usually, she will have just one baby at a time, which is called a pup. These pups are born completely helpless. They have no fur, their eyes are sealed shut, and they can't fly. They are entirely dependent on their mother for everything: warmth, food, and protection from predators. It's a vulnerable start to life, but mother bats are incredibly dedicated and have some amazing strategies to keep their babies safe and sound in the bustling maternity colony. The mother's care is immediate and constant. The pup clings tightly to its mother's fur, nursing on her rich milk, which is full of all the nutrients it needs to grow big and strong. In large maternity colonies, which can have thousands or even millions of bats, you might wonder how a mother finds her own baby. It's incredible. Each mother knows her pup's unique scent and the specific calls it makes. She can pick her baby out from a crowd of noisy youngsters. This strong bond is crucial for the pup's survival during its first few weeks of life, as it huddles with its mother or other pups for warmth while she goes out to hunt for insects each night. The first few weeks of a pup's life are all about growth, and boy, do they grow fast. That tiny, pink, hairless creature quickly begins to change. Within a short time, a soft layer of fur starts to sprout, providing much-needed insulation. Its eyes, once sealed shut, open up to see the world inside the roost for the first time. The most dramatic transformation, however, happens with its wings. The delicate, bony structures of the wings, which are really elongated finger bones covered by a thin membrane of skin, start to strengthen and expand. The pup's body is working overtime, turning its mother's milk into bone, muscle, and fur, preparing for the most important milestone of its life, its first flight. As the pups get bigger, they become more curious and active. They start to crawl around the roost, strengthening their muscles and getting a feel for their surroundings. They will stretch their wings again and again, sometimes flapping them clumsily while still clinging to the cave ceiling or tree branch. This isn't just play, it's serious training. They are building up the chest and wing muscles necessary to lift their own body weight into the air. During this time, they are also listening intently to the adult bats, beginning to learn the complex calls and sounds of their colony. This is the beginning of their education in echolocation, the sonar-like system they will one day use to navigate and hunt in complete darkness. The moment of truth arrives when a pup is about 3 to 5 weeks old. With its muscles strong enough and its wings fully developed, it will take its first leap of faith. The first flight can be a bit wobbly and uncertain. The young bat might flutter for a short distance before making a clumsy landing. It's a risky time. A fall could be dangerous. But they are persistent. Night after night, they practice, taking short flights around the safety of the roost. Their mothers often guide them, calling to them and showing them how it's done. These practice runs build confidence and fine-tune their flying skills, turning awkward flutters into graceful, controlled flight. Once they master flying inside the roost, it's time to venture outside. The first flights into the night air are a huge step. The world is suddenly so much bigger, filled with new sounds, smells, and dangers. The young bats, now called fledglings, will initially fly close to the roost, often following their mothers. This is a critical learning period. They are not just learning to fly in open spaces, but also how to avoid obstacles and predators like owls. Their survival depends on mastering their wings quickly and learning the layout of their home territory. It's an exhilarating and dangerous phase, but it's the final step before they can start learning to be self-sufficient hunters of the night. Please hit like and subscribe to the Life Cycle Explorers channel to get more amazing videos on life cycles. Becoming a master of flight is one thing, but finding your own food is a whole new challenge. Now that the young bat or juvenile can fly, it must learn the art of hunting. For insect-eating bats, this means perfecting their use of echolocation. They start by making their own high-frequency calls and listening for the echoes that bounce back. At first, their signals might be a bit weak or unfocused. They learn by shadowing their mothers and other experienced adults, essentially listening in on their hunting calls. This social learning is vital. They learn what a juicy moth sounds like versus a leaf rustling in the wind, a skill that takes practice to develop and is the key to a full belly. The transition to hunting is not immediate. For a while, the juvenile bat will continue to nurse from its mother, even while it starts to catch some insects on its own. This gives it a reliable food source while it hones its hunting abilities. The first hunts are often a mix of success and failure. A young bat might chase after a beetle only to miss, or it might struggle to interpret the echoes in a cluttered environment like a dense forest. This period is full of risks. Not only do they have to worry about finding food, but they are also still learning to evade predators who might see a clumsy, inexperienced bat as an easy meal. It's a tough world out there for a young hunter. As they become more skilled, they start to rely less on their mothers and more on themselves. Their echolocation calls become more sophisticated, allowing them to pinpoint the exact size, shape, and trajectory of a flying insect in total darkness. It is an absolutely mind-blowing sensory ability. Think about it. They are creating a detailed sound map of their world in real time, all while flying at high speeds. This incredible skill is what allows bats to become such successful nocturnal predators, filling a niche that few other animals can. Their independence grows with every insect they catch, paving the way for the next stage of their life. By the end of their first summer, most juvenile bats are fully weaned and hunting independently. They have mastered flight, perfected their echolocation, and learned the layout of their territory. They are now fully integrated into the colony, flying out each night with the adults to forage. They have survived the most dangerous period of their lives and have acquired all the skills necessary to make it on their own. They are no longer pups, but young adults ready to face the changing seasons, including the challenge of migration or hibernation, depending on their species and where they live. Their incredible journey from helpless pup to skilled aerial acrobat is complete. Once a bat reaches adulthood, its primary focus shifts to survival and reproduction, ensuring the next generation of its species. Most bats become sexually mature when they are about 1 year old, though some larger species may take longer. Mating season is a fascinating time and can vary greatly. Many bats in temperate climates mate in the fall before hibernation. The females then have another amazing trick up their sleeves: delayed fertilization. They can store the male sperm all winter long and only become pregnant in the spring, when they emerge from hibernation and insects are plentiful again. This clever strategy ensures that pups are born at the best possible time for survival. For their size, bats live exceptionally long lives. While a small mammal like a mouse might only live for a year or two, some bat species can live for over 30 years in the wild. This incredible longevity is linked to their ability to hibernate, which slows down their metabolism and the aging process. As bats get older, they become the wise elders of the colony. Their hunting skills are finely tuned, and they are experts at finding the best roosting spots and avoiding danger. However, old age can bring challenges, such as worn-down teeth, which can make it harder to eat, or slower flight, which makes them more vulnerable to predators. Throughout every stage of their life, from embryo to old age, bats are deeply affected by their environment. The availability of food, like insects or fruit, directly impacts a mother's ability to produce milk and a juvenile's ability to grow strong. The safety of their roosts, whether it's a cave, a hollow tree, or an old barn, is critical for raising pups and hibernating through the winter. Climate change is also a major threat, as it can disrupt insect populations, affect hibernation cycles, and lead to more extreme weather events that can be deadly for these sensitive creatures. A healthy ecosystem is absolutely essential for a healthy bat population. This brings us to our role. Bats are vital to ecosystems worldwide. They pollinate plants, spread seeds, and are a natural form of pest control, saving farmers billions of dollars every year. Yet they face enormous threats from habitat loss, a disease called white nose syndrome, and human persecution. Protecting bats means protecting their homes. We can help by preserving forests and wetlands, putting up bat houses to provide safe roosts, and educating others about how incredible and important these animals are. By understanding their life cycle, we can better appreciate the challenges they face and become champions for the survival of these magnificent masters of the night.